February 1943. Near Kasserine, Tunisia. Dust rolls across the barren desert as the midday sun beats down on a column of olive-green tanks, American M4 Shermans, their engines coughing under the African heat. Inside one of them, Sergeant Bill Harker wipes the sweat from his neck, shouting over the roar of the Continental radial engine. "Keep her steady, Johnson. We don't want to end up a damn bonfire before lunch." Across the valley, German Panzer crews of the 10th Panzer Division peer through binoculars from the ridge. Their commander, Oberleutnant Franz Köhler, lowers the lenses and smirks. "Die Amerikanischen Panzer. They look like toy boxes," he says to his gunner. "Let's see how long they last." Moments later, the first 75mm round from a Panzer IV whistles across the desert and punches through the lead Sherman's thin front plate. The tank erupts in flame, black smoke curling toward the sky. Within minutes, 3 more Shermans lie burning easy prey for the seasoned German crews. The laughter comes easily. To the veterans of Africa, the new American tank seems clumsy, fragile, amateurish. Its high silhouette and thin armor are an insult to German engineering. That night, as the desert cools and the fires die, Köhler writes in his field journal, "The Americans build tanks for children. They come at us like cattle and die just as fast." But he doesn't yet understand what he's truly facing, not a single tank, not even a single army. He's facing a machine far greater than any weapon Germany possesses. The industrial heart of the United States. June 7th, 1944. Normandy, France. Rain and smoke hang over the beaches as Allied landing craft push wave after wave of men and machines ashore. The invasion is 1 day old, and the impossible has happened. The Western Front has returned to Europe. From the hedgerows near Saint-Lô, Feldwebel Hans Ritter of the 12th SS Panzer Division peers through his Zeiss binoculars. He's been fighting since '41, from Smolensk to Kharkov, and knows the sound of enemy armor before he sees it. But this is something different. The low, constant rumble doesn't fade. It grows. Across the fields, dozens of Shermans crawl forward, their engines grumbling like an approaching storm. Infantry cling to their sides, waving signals, firing bursts into the tree lines. Ritter lowers his glasses, frowning. "Sie kommen wieder, immer mehr," he mutters. "They keep coming, more and more." His gunner adjusts the optics on their Panzer IV. Range 800 meters. The first round strikes true, splitting a Sherman in two, but as the smoke clears, 5 more appear behind it, then 10. The Germans destroy another, yet the line doesn't falter. In the command post, Major Karl Schulte radios in frustration. They lose 1 and 3 more replace it. How can they have so many? What no one in the bunker knows is that, even as they fight here, factories in Detroit, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh are already building replacements, thousands of them. The Ford River Rouge plant alone can produce 1 M4 Sherman every 22 minutes. The Germans believe in craftsmanship, in precision, in perfection, but America has chosen something else entirely: mass. By the time the Panzer divisions retreat from Normandy in August, nearly 1,500 Shermans have rolled ashore in France. For every tank the Germans destroy, 2 more arrive. The laughter from Africa has long since faded. Ritter writes home that night, the first time he's admitted fear in 3 years of war. Their tanks are not better, but they never stop coming. How do you fight an army that never runs out of tanks? The answer he will soon learn is that you don't. December 17th, 1944. Ardennes Forest, Belgium. Snow falls thick and silent over the pines, muffling the growl of engines hidden in the mist. The Battle of the Bulge has begun. In the bitter cold, German tanks surge forward. Panthers, Tigers, and King Tigers, monstrous machines of war, sleek and deadly, designed to dominate any battlefield. Among them is Oberleutnant Franz Köhler, the same officer who once mocked the Sherman in the deserts of Tunisia. His Tiger I moves through the forest line like an armored predator. "Hold the road," he tells his crew. "We break through to Bastogne by morning." But the forest is not silent for long. Ahead, a column of Sherman's M4, a 3S of the U.S. 4th Armored Division, grinds up the slope, their tracks biting through the snow. Curler's gunner grins. "One shell, one kill," he whispers, loading the 88mm round. The first Sherman explodes in a flash of orange, but before the smoke clears, more tanks push forward again and again. The Tiger's turret swings left, fires, reloads. Each time, a Sherman dies, yet another takes its place. Curler can't believe it. "Verdammt! How many do they have?" He doesn't know that behind this skirmish lies an entire logistical miracle. Convoys stretching from Cherbourg to Antwerp, supply trains loaded with fuel, spare parts, and tanks rolling off ships faster than the Germans can destroy them. The Sherman isn't perfect. It never was. Its armor can't stand against an 88mm shell. Its gun often fails to penetrate a Panther's front plate. But what it can do, what it was built to do, is move, survive, and return to battle. When one breaks down, it's repaired in hours. When one burns, another arrives within days. And unlike the Tiger, which demands hours of maintenance for every few miles traveled, the Sherman just keeps running its simple radial engine, forgiving. Its parts interchangeable, its design brutally efficient. As night falls, Köhler's radio crackles with retreat orders. His battalion, short on fuel and ammunition, is to withdraw east. He stares at the smoldering hulks around him, not just American tanks, but his own comrades, Panthers and Tigers, frozen and abandoned in the snow. He mutters softly, almost to himself. They built their tanks for children, and yet the children have won. Outside, the Shermans keep moving, headlights cutting through the fog, engines humming in unison. For the first time in the war, Germany's armored fist is breaking. March 1945. West of the Rhine near Remagen. The morning mist clings to the riverbanks as columns of American armor roll east, their tracks grinding across hastily repaired bridges. The war is turning toward its final act. From a ridge overlooking the valley, captured German officers, now prisoners of the U.S. 9th Armored Division, watch in stunned silence. For miles, the horizon shimmers with steel and dust. Sherman after Sherman, truck after truck, stretches as far as the eye can see. Each tank carries fuel cans, spare treads, and rations stacked neatly on its hull. To the Germans, it looks less like an army and more like an assembly line on the move. Oberleutnant Franz Köhler, now weary and hollow-eyed, stands beside an American MP. He whispers, "So many. Where do they come from?" The guard, a young corporal from Kansas, shrugs. "Detroit, mostly." It's the final, bitter truth of the war. Germany's genius couldn't outbuild America's factories. While German engineers crafted masterpieces, the Tiger, the Panther, the Me-262, they could never make enough of them. Each one took months, even years. The Americans built Shermans by the tens of thousands, crude, flawed, but endless. In 1944 alone, the U.S. produced over 17,000 Shermans, while Germany struggled to deliver even a fraction of that number in Panthers and Tigers combined. Every burned-out hull in France, every smoldering wreck in Belgium, was replaced before the week was out. To the American crews, the Sherman wasn't a marvel, it was a workhorse. They named them with affection and irony. Cindy Lou, the Battling Bitch, Problem Child. Each tank carried more than armor and ammunition, it carried belief. Belief that they would keep pushing forward, no matter the odds. When General George S. Patton looked across the fields of France, he didn't see weakness in the Sherman. He saw speed. He saw movement. He saw victory by momentum. My men can outfight any force on earth, he said, as long as they have fuel, food, and a Sherman under them. As the column crosses the Rhine, the captured Germans realize that this unstoppable procession is the end. Not the brilliance of a single weapon, but the relentlessness of an entire nation at war. The laughter that began in the desert 2 years earlier has long been silenced. And as the thunder of engines echoes east toward Berlin, even the proudest Panzer officers must admit the unthinkable. The Shermans they mocked have rolled over the Reich itself.